everyone, this is Tyler with Legendary Vegan Art. Today I'm going to be doing some more life drawing with the Croquis Cafe week 171. My goals are going to be a little bit different this week. I'm going to use the 1-minute poses to get some quick gesture drawings done, but for the 2-minute poses I think I'm going to focus a little bit more on specific areas that are difficult for me, especially the shoulders and areas where the arms connect to the body, and also the legs and hips. Those are a little difficult for me, so I'm going to focus on one of those depending on what the pose looks like and what presents something interesting. For the 5-minute, I'm going to do just a general, very complete figure drawing. So without further ado, the video gets started just a little bit after the 1-minute mark, and I'm going to be getting started shortly. And the first pose begins now. Let's this going. A technique I like from the sorry, it's hard to talk and draw at the same time, the art channel Croquis, is to use very exaggerated lines. My brush is way too big in getting these figure drawings done. Trying to boil everything down to S curves and C curves. That's not right at all. Well, I'm gonna have to go back a little bit to my old ways. Talking a little too much and getting a little too little done. Oh well. I think I can see what's going on here. Well, that looked very, very odd, but hey, you always gotta shake off the dust with some of these starting drawings. Let's just move on to the next one, shall we? Not too keen on that one. Okay, new pose. Alright, it's going to be very interesting. Alright. Guess I'm going to have to draw through the head here, get this sort of plate of the shoulder. And quite a lot of foreshortening on the arm there, and in here. Let's see, here's where the knee lands. Coming back up here. Long calf coming down here. Got our foot. That's a weird shape for the foot, but I think it does what needs to be done. Let's get this arm in. That's a little more over here, and this last hand. Not gonna have time to rough in the fingers. Okay, let's move on. Alright, that was much better. Something I'm trying to do is grip my pencil differently than I normally do. I'm a lefty, and for most of my life I've had a very strange way of holding the pencil. I'm trying to sort of completely retrain myself how to hold a pencil actually properly. And I've been working on that for a little while now. And it's gotten me a bit of finger strain in the process, but it's already started paying off. I think I can put down a line a little more accurately now. This is a really nice pose. I may come back to this one just for my own amusement, or just to make a nice picture out of it. I'm exaggerating some of these a little too much, but what can you do? Yes, the curve of the back, especially here at the waist, is very nice in this pose. I don't have too much room or time on here to really get all the detail I want in, but I think that gets the idea down. All right. I'm also trying really hard to make a good line of the neck in my drawings from now on, because it's another thing that's easy to forget or to put off doing, and just have the head sort of tacked on there precariously. I don't want to keep doing that. And I also want to have a little bit more of an ankle, a little bit better understanding of where feet go. But, I don't know. I feel like they're pretty loose and fairly weak in my quick drawings, but I think I manage it well enough in the drawings I take some time on, so maybe it's not such a problem. I don't know, just thinking out loud here. In these really foreshortened arms like this forearm here, I like to give them a lot of extra curvature. See, this pose is done. That really helps sell the foreshortening. Oh, that's a little too close. Here we go. Okay. Get this head and release into the body. Get these sort of, just forgotten what they're called, deltoids? The top shoulder muscle? I've just forgotten what it's called. But I like drawing these. Helps me place things much better. Don't want to put that too far out. Don't want to confuse myself drawing this far deltoid. Let's see. This in there. Get this better foot shape this time. There we go. And pretty good. Oh, that curve isn't wrong. There's a book called something along the lines of Drawing Force, or drawing something along the lines of Drawing Force, and it's about just drawing really animated looking life drawings. And for these 2-minute poses, I'm gonna draw a sort of loose sketch in my normal blue pencil, and I think I'm gonna try and draw a tighter sketch right over that on the second layer in red. See how that works out. So let's rough in the proportions, kind of like I do on my figure drawing or 1-minute drawings, and then try and save it a little better in the remaining minute, I guess. I don't want to focus too much on that. Okay. Well, this isn't working. I'm taking a little too much time on this. Yeah, taking too much room too. Alright, let's get this in place. Stop worrying so much and just do it. The proportions look a little odd, but I'll try and save that with our red lines. If I can. Alright, red lines. Let's see. I can use this to sort of bring this line up to where it should be. Hips are quite difficult to get the placement just right. So that's why I'm trying to focus on this kind of thing. Do I like that? I think I should bring that out a little further. It's really, sorry, I'm trying to think and draw too much. Oh well, maybe I'll save it in the next one. Okay, blue pencil, layer. Alright, this one's got quite a lot of foreshortening, so I'm just gonna do my normal thing here. This shin, this foot. Let's see, this comes quite far out here. Okay. This sort of, the trunk of the body is leaned way over here. And let's see, our shoulder caps about here. Head leaned way down here. Let's clean, whoops, that's the wrong key. Clean this up a little. Let's see. Drawing arms pointed this far forward is always an interesting challenge. You can do it by really, as I've just said, exaggerating the curvature and the overlap. But for this, I think I'm going to have to just rough in the hands as a sort of box shape. It's not time to do much else. Pop in her ponytail here. Let's see, get this curve where the arm goes. The hip comes up a little further. Oh boy, gotta work quick. This leg. And yeah, it's coming together. A little busy with the details, but I think it's salvageable. Oops, there, we're out of time. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm going to focus more on just drawing the hips. So if we have a sort of oval shape here for that. Let's see. We have one leg coming out here. This is something I especially want to practice is when you have a sort of knee that's bent like this and a leg that's coming. It's the way the skin sort of presses against itself and you get this sort of S-curve here defining the knee. That's something that's I seem to put in a lot of my drawing or struggle with a lot in a lot of my imaginative drawing where I never really know how to put everything. And it's something you have to do a lot for sitting and kneeling poses. Very hard to do right. Just off the top of my head. So let's see if we can't make this a little nicer. And usually there's some sort of other better indication of the indentations of the knee. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Oh well. Let's try and get some of these lines of the stomach in a little better. See what we can't accomplish. This needs to come up a little higher. Smooth this out a little. It's a difficult balance to get between making the knees blocky enough to really get all the different joints and segments and making them, you know, round and curvy enough to look like actual human bodies. Well, that's out of time for that. Well, I'm glad I tried that. It didn't really work out. Okay. Last pose of the 2 minutes. This is gonna be fun. Oh boy. Hips way up here, spine all the way down here. Ribs. Shoulder leaning way up. Let's see, got the sort of head peeking out here. Chin maybe? Oh, that's too much chin. Okay, interesting. Let's see, got the thigh here, the shin. Oh boy, I don't have this landing where I want to. Okay, didn't bring the knee down far enough. That's my problem. And this foot comes down almost as far as the hand laterally. Some interesting perspective issues here. Okay, interesting. Spine coming out here. Get a little bit too much of a curvature on the buttocks here. Let's see, I don't think I left quite enough room for her leg, but gotta move on. Get this arm in. One thing I don't do often enough is after I draw these, I always make mental notes to try and come back and paint some of these more interesting poses, and I really do. Really should. Okay. Oops. Zoom out for the upcoming 5-minute pose. Alright, let's make this nice and big. This one not so big. And 5-minute pose. Here we go. Okay. Let's start with this line of the arm. Actually, need to move that way over. Okay, this is a very lateral pose, very horizontal, so I'm going to have to really plan out my space carefully. Let's see, got the neck there. Line of the arms, let's see. Shoulders coming way up here. Torso's over here. Hips down here. Knees. Let's see. Don't need to worry too much about the feet here. Okay, I think that's roughed in well enough. Let's get the details in red. Get the actual contours just the way I like them, nice and detailed. That's one of the things you really have to fight when learning figure drawing, is not to just go right for the interesting contours, even though they're what make a drawing interesting. But they can't really just live on their own. You need to back it up with a great setup for your drawing. And that's where I struggle sometimes, or a lot. Like this head here, not doing what it should. Didn't plan this out too well. Comes down only more like this. Line of the eyes. This isn't a portrait, so I'm not going to worry too much about the facial features. Even though, again, that's another thing that's tempting to work on a lot, because I like it. And when I draw like this, I use a lot of landmarks to sort of plot where things should go in relationship to each other. And it's a good observational drawing technique. It doesn't help a lot for your long-term ability to draw imaginatively if you like to draw illustrations or comics or whatever, like I'm interested in doing. But it can really help drawing from observation or drawing from life come together by using landmarks. And if you just use landmarks and sort of work out from that, you'll sort of lose your proportions. So again, it really needs to be on the basis of a really good sketch, a good layout. This drawing here, or this line here, where the sort of stomach folds happen, or something I want to get better at drawing. They're not very flattering, and a lot of people sort of, you know, go pretty light on them, but I really want to understand how that works before fudging it in favor of something simpler. It's actually very dark in here on the sketch, so I'm not going to worry too much about exactly where all the details go. Just going to get this other line of the leg and the hip. It's always challenging to get exactly how much the hips and legs sort of get smushed in these sitting positions. They always you always seem to be putting them down too wide, but you're not. It's just how people look when they sit down and the lines kind of get smushed. Okay, that's just a mess. Just a little hint of the foot here. Let's see. Now that I can have a little more of a landmark in place. You can see the stomach comes out a little more. This comes in a little more. Alright. What else can I do? This indentation here. Put in some light shading. I normally don't get much time to do shading on these. I really should. Because I'm not just painting, I'm not just drawing, I'm losing my train of thought, not just drawing, you know, the contours, but really painting in a lot of the shading helps the drawing be much, much better. I always go too fast and end up with these zigzags instead of nice hatching lines. Alright, let's learn from that mistake. Put in some nice shading here. It's quite dark in here. Oh, I think I overdid it. Let's pull that back. Don't really have enough room for a hand. Nope, it's off the page. Oh well. And that's all the time we have for that. Alright, these are my drawings. Let's go back and look at these, see how they look. Oh, this one looks really good. I like that. I like how it turned out. These speak pretty well for themselves. I think my first couple were pretty rough. Well, this looks okay. This one is pretty wonky. I think I was trying to get a little experimental with my layers here. Looks okay. Could be a lot better. This one, yeah, I think well, it looks a little bit of a mess, but foreshortening's okay. Yeah, I didn't get too far in this. And yeah, the legs are pretty off on this. This is too skinny, this is too big. But this turned out okay. So, it was a good drawing session. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back later with more drawing videos. I may reduce my upload schedule from 3 days a week to just 2 on Tuesday, Thursday. Not sure about that yet. I'm trying to refigure out how I do things. Keep my schedule manageable so I don't burn out. I'd hate to crash and burn. I'd hate to give up on my commitment to keep up on both this art channel and my gaming channel. But you gotta keep your workload adjusted so it's manageable. Anyway, this has been the Croquis Cafe, week 171. I'm Tyler with Legendary Vegan Gaming, and until next time, keep it vegan. Bye, guys.